guys? It's Courtney Jane Racing here. I know it's nighttime. I decided to pull out the camera today. I'm vlogging. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of vlogging, open vlogging tonight because tomorrow, how do I say this? We have just something exciting in store for us, okay? And that is our very first race is coming up. So this is like a huge milestone for me. We're out here in Phoenix, Arizona testing. We're not in California, so I wanted to take you guys with me because we're doing some exploring before we hit the track tomorrow. So let's go. Alright, I know I didn't really provide that much context for you guys, so I'm trying to keep it like a little bit mysterious as we go, but so nerves are definitely real right now, but I will fill you guys in as we go because we have so much to catch up on. We just got back to the hotel. It's 9:13. I want to make sure I get some rest, and I will see you guys tomorrow bright and early. So a lot of you are probably wondering how I even landed this opportunity, and basically I got connected with an organization called Shift Up Now, and they're a collective of female racers who help other women get opportunities in motorsports. They linked me with THUNDERHILL Motorsports, which is the team that I'm here with. The car that I am racing is based out here, so we're testing at the Arizona Motorsports Park. We just got here to the track. I just finished my driver's meeting. Very easy track, very flat, not a lot of elevation changes going on, very simple. Sean Casey, who is the team owner of THUNDERHILL, is setting up the car right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do some test laps. In the meantime, I am going to get ready, change out into my, I was about to say uniform, little Sparko suit, and just get warmed up, stretch, get the blood flowing a little bit because I am a little nervous, but just enjoy the vlog. I'm excited to take you guys along. Cheers to, I don't know, cheers to a new chapter because I don't know when I started YouTube, but this is first milestone for me, so. Also, we also finally got our official gear. I got my team shirt and my team hat. This is a 1997 BMW 520i, the E39 chassis. Now, I know it's not the flashiest car in the world, but everybody starts somewhere, and you know what? I'm just very thankful to be here and have this opportunity. I will say that this car can take a solid beating, and it's also really easy to work on. Either way, it's a really good way for me to get my feet wet, especially in endurance racing. We're running in the Lucky Dog Endurance Racing Series, and the event is called 1,000 Miles at Thunderhill. Whichever team racks up 1,000 miles first wins. It's spread across 2 days, 16 hours total, with 4 drivers on the team. Each of us has to run at least 2 hours minimum. We just need to worry about consistency, teamwork, and keeping the car alive. The team owner went above and beyond and brought out Phoenix Fox 10 News, and it was my first time getting interviewed, but it was great practice just because in motorsports, interviews are all a part of the journey.
Courtney Jane Casale is on the fast track.
Getting ready for a race for me, the first thing that comes to mind is my mental state, making sure I'm like very neutral, in a good place, very stable, making sure I'm as like relaxed as possible.
Today, she's the only female driver practicing at the Arizona Motorsport Park in Glendale. She's gearing up for her first ever race in a few weeks.
I'm super blessed and very thankful to be in this opportunity.
At just 26 years old, Courtney has already served in the military, where she was the only female in a group of mechanics. Now she's once again working in a male-dominated field.
I think it's also maybe because I've been the only female mechanic. At first, like I kind of felt really weird about it, but then over time I got really comfortable. So being here and being the only female, I don't really feel scared. I don't feel intimidated.
Being a woman in racing isn't easy. Team owner of THUNDERHILL Motorsports, Sean Casey, says when comparing them to male drivers, on average female drivers only get 10% of the sponsorships. That's why he works with the Shift Up Now Foundation, helping provide funding for women like Courtney, covering things like her track time and training. They're also holding a fundraiser to support other women in motorsports.
What we're doing is a fundraiser to support this organization, and this will help provide funding to provide opportunities for women racers.
Courtney's mission is to inspire and empower other female athletes and veterans to set goals and reach the finish line.
My parents and everybody growing up has told me, like, do what you love, like keep following in what you want to do in life. And I took the risk of that. Having that leadership role for the women and the military world really means a lot to me because I know that I can make a really strong impact in the sport.
Irene Snyder, Fox 10 News.
All right, now it's finally time to get behind the wheel and test this car. It's the first time that I'm ever driving this, so my main focus is just understanding how it feels, braking, cornering, throttle response, hopefully all of it. But this is the only practice session that I get in before the race, so I won't have a ton of seat time today, but that's okay. That's endurance racing. You adapt quick, and once we're in the race, I'll have plenty more time to settle in. Just like that, we're here at Thunderhill for Friday's practice session. This is the driver's meeting where they basically go over rules, track procedures, and safety. They'll do that again tomorrow before the race. But after that, it was time to hit the track. My teammate wrapped up his practice run, and then it was my turn to get in the seat. And of course, as you guys saw in the beginning, the rain did decide to show up. So not only am I learning the car still, but I'm learning the car while it's also raining. Just wrapped up my practice session in the rain, and honestly, I didn't feel super confident in myself or the car just yet. I was being hard on myself because I'm running a slower pace than my teammates, and that can feel a little embarrassing, to be honest. But then I had to remind myself that it's practice, it's not the actual race, and this time it's about learning the car, getting comfortable, and building confidence lap by lap. Saturday, which was race day, started early. We were at the track by 7 to prep the car. Then we had another driver's meeting at 8. I was way more nervous than yesterday because this was the real deal now. By my stint, which was the second one, everything hit me. Gearing up with the suit and helmet, I had this whole internal conversation like, what the heck are we doing right now? But also more so, it's like, you wanted this for yourself. I was trying to play it cool on the outside, but inside I felt nowhere near ready. But once I saw the lineup of classes, especially the wild GT cars in Class A, I was like super intimidated, but I kept reminding myself like just focus on our class, which is Class C, and take it just one lap at a time, and most importantly, just try to have some fun. What you're seeing here is a pit stop and a driver change, and every pit stop of course has strict rules. The car has to be shut off, the driver comes out, and if you're swapping drivers, it has to be done after fueling. Every team also has a minimum pit time that they have to serve, so it keeps things safe and fair for everybody. After a few laps, I finally started to settle in. The track had dried up, the sun came out, and my lap times were getting more consistent, and I was showing around 4:15 on Thunderhill's full course, which is nearly 5 miles long. I'm still way off my teammates who are running 3:40s or like a 3:39, but I was calmer and focusing on fixing the little mistakes each lap. The hardest part has been trusting the car. Back home, I do drive a 2006 Subaru WRX. That's all-wheel drive, and this BMW is obviously rear-wheel drive. That's a totally different feel for me. The braking and the rear wanting to kick out, it's all very new to me, so I just kept reminding myself to adapt and overcome like I learned in the military. Not too long into the race, we had a pretty scary moment. I'm not exactly sure how it started, but from what I saw from another person's point of view was that a car was on the inside, tried to make a pass, and the other driver didn't see them. It turned into a bad situation pretty fast. The gray BMW, as you see here, rolled multiple times, hitting both the wall and the fence line. Luckily, everyone walked away without any serious injuries, but the car itself was completely totaled. Race control threw a red flag right away. Once things were under control, we went back to yellow, and then the race continued on. After a few shifts, I felt the car starting to act a little weird, and at first I ignored it, thinking, maybe I was overthinking, but I definitely wasn't. What I thought was a transmission or something definitely in the rear ended up being the axle with the bolts backing out and just flopping around. I then had to pull offline and call for a tow back to the pits. Once the team got the bolts back in, we swapped drivers, and Sean Casey, the team owner, went out to finish the day. But after dipping a tire and getting distracted, it blew out the driver's side strut. And that was it for us on Saturday. We spent the rest of the night repairing the car to get ready for Sunday's race and then hung out with everybody else in the pits.
Check wall was great because I... Do it again. It got way stickier about halfway through there, and it started... You were getting a wheel off. I mean, I go through a tire a year. That's actually really good because our...
Here we go, Sunday morning, the final day of the race, where we had to start with a 20-minute penalty, along with any team that pitted Saturday before everyone was brought into the hot pits. The cars that survived the night stayed lined up and got to restart right away Sunday morning, but once our 20 minutes were up, we sent out Sean Philbin, one of our other 4 drivers, and he was looking strong right from the start, making some clean passes during his stint until... Sean was nearly done with his stint anyway, so he came into pit just in time. It was my turn for the third stint, and during the driver change, we also swapped all 4 tires. These weren't brand new though, they were a different size, a different brand, and already had a few heat cycles on them. So on top of that, the weather had totally changed from Saturday, obviously. It's now cloudy, foggy, and colder, with more wind and condensation, and all of that plays into how the car feels, and it's something that I had to keep in mind heading back out. Yep, that's me. Right after giving that advice and then clearly not taking it. I figured that the tires were good to push after a few laps, but it turns out that they weren't. I radioed it in that I had spun out, and I told the team that I was okay and got the car back running and went back out, not realizing how much mud was still stuck on the tires. But I was flustered, embarrassed, and I wasn't thinking straight, and then I went out and did it again, like literally. A About an hour into my stint, we all suddenly got black flagged and had to report to the hot pits. Now, nobody really knew what was happening until the race director made an announcement, and he was not happy. Drivers weren't just being unsafe with each other on the track, but multiple times emergency vehicles were pretty much nearly hit, and even safety workers were almost struck because people weren't paying attention to the flags or looking far enough ahead. It was serious enough that they could have ended the race right there, but instead they gave everyone a warning and decided to let us continue anyways. Okay, I was not expecting that Miata to brush up right beside me, but we both made mistakes by not pitting, and I should have checked in with the officials afterwards to make sure that everything was okay. What bugged me the most was that the other team just never acknowledged it, no apology, no nothing, and obviously I have video footage. We were even pitted right next to each other, and they avoided eye contact all day that day, and I didn't want to start anything either, but it did leave me wishing that they showed a little bit more sportsmanship. Honestly, it gave me anxiety because it's not even my car, and the last thing I wanted to do was damage something that I don't directly own. Just like that, the checkered flag is finally dropped with our driver Travis Tucker finishing the 4th stint very strong. He's usually our closer since he's fast and can make up time, but honestly, everyone put in amazing work this weekend. Now it's time to pack up, and I will see you guys when we get home. All right, finally made it back home after that long drive, but wow, what an eventful weekend. I have no words to express, like, A, how grateful I feel, B, just how amazing and just crazy I can't even word right now, how insane this entire weekend had went, because this was the very first time ever within like the 8 years that I've been doing this, just finally being able to race and being able to compete for the first time ever. Now, I know it's not like a crazy like racing series or league, but it's a foot in the door for sure. For my first race, I was pretty shocked that I had went through all of the flags, and that was the coolest part about this experience, was that not only was it really fun and I learned so much just from that race, but I got a little bit of everything, and that's exactly what I had wanted for myself. But overall, it was just a really good experience because I got a little bit of taste of everything in that first race. Within our class, we ended up finishing 25th out of 41, and then overall, we ended up finishing as 56th out of 91. That's nearly 100 cars is pretty insane. So you can only imagine that on a roughly like 5-mile track. It was pretty chaotic. I also want to thank Shift Up Now for connecting me with THUNDERHILL Motorsports and allowing me and just giving me that chance to be in that seat this weekend, because just by doing that, I feel like it's opened up so many doors for me moving forward, especially going into next year. I also want to thank THUNDERHILL Motorsports for having me part of their team this weekend. I truly had a blast and everybody on the team was amazing, and hopefully I can do more racing with you guys. And of course, I couldn't forget you guys, because without you guys, I wouldn't be where I am today. So thank you guys so much for supporting me as always. If you watched the whole video from beginning to end, comment down below a checkered flag so I know that you watched the video. And with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. It truly means a lot to me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to see more videos. And of course, don't forget to stop by and grab some merch at theoverdriven.com. I am launching a new shirt. It is called Be Nice to Yourself, and that is dropping on September 7th, so don't forget to grab that. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials at Courtney Jane Racing, and I will see you guys in another video.